in case you didn't know, I am going on tour this summer. Go to mcchris.com and check out all my tour dates. Over 45 shows. We're coming to your town, or we're not coming to your town. Please let me know if I'm not coming to your town in the comments on any place you see this podcast. Let me know where we should go. If I have a day off and you'd like to book a show with me, write me at mcchrisbooking@gmail.com. Otherwise, if you'd like to just come see a show and celebrate 20 years of touring with me, go to mcchris.com and get your tickets today. Okay, let's start the podcast.
You'll be great.
Swell.
You'll be great. Gonna have the whole world on the plate. Starting here. Starting now. Everything's coming up roses. I only know the airplane version.
What's the airplane version?
That guy over there. That guy over there thinks he's Ethel Merman.
yeah. He's gone crazy. Thinks he's Ethel Merman.
I had all those jokes memorized.
Um,
Love that movie. But you know what I loved even more? Because my son and I, we watched these things recently. Top Secret. Have you seen this movie?
Oh, yeah. You got to, what is it called? You got to shake the rug. That's the musical number.
That movie holds up. We tried to watch Naked Gun. Doesn't hold up. We tried to watch Dumb and Dumber. Doesn't hold up.
Why does Naked Gun not hold up? Because I haven't seen it.
We just weren't laughing. But I said, you know, when
did you laugh at it when you were little?
No, I'm about to say, when we saw this movie in the theater, the crowd was just in hysterics. They loved it so much. Because I remember not only movies or when and what theater in town I saw them at, but I remember the audience reactions.
But were you laughing? Did it make you laugh when you were little? Or were you just listening to everybody else laugh at it?
I think there are times when I am surrounded by people laughing, I'm just like, something's going on here. And I'm like an alien, where I'm just like,
right.
I mean, of course I laugh at things when they're funny. I don't exactly remember what I laughed at, but I have moments in my life where I'll look back at screenings and I'll be like, something amazing is happening. Like when I saw Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, the South Park musical.
Oh.
I'd never heard an audience laugh that hard at anything in my life. It's almost like, they were being attacked. Nobody could breathe. It was just an onslaught. And everybody was just in hysterics. That was one of my favorite screenings.
Mm.
Can you remember any of the screenings from your life, like where an audience was really into something?
I mean, I don't remember seeing. I remember going to see Raiders of the Lost Ark and feeling like that.
Wow,
like everybody
I wasn't allowed to see
but they weren't funny. I remember my dad was away at some convention, and he said, "While I was away, we went to the movies, and I am taking you guys to the movies right now because I just saw this movie that's like the greatest movie I ever saw, and it was Raiders of the Lost Ark."
Dad said that?
Yeah. He came back from, wherever he was. They had gone to the movies while he was there. And he walked into the house and he was like, "Tonight we are going to see Raiders of the Lost Ark."
He's had a bad day.
It's the best movie I've ever seen. Oh no, he was so excited to show it to us.
Yeah.
He was
my dad was never like that. We had to beg. I remember my brother and I, we did a whole lip sync routine to Come Go With Me from the Stand By Me soundtrack, trying to get my dad to come see Roger Rabbit. We'd already seen it. We're like, this is the bee's knees. You need love, my darling, come and go with me. Dad's just watching. He's like, very good. I'm like, and we're like, will you go? Where are you gonna go? He's like, nah.
That would, if I was
no
your dad,
fucking way.
I would have been like, I was on the fence. It is a definite no now. I'm not going with two guys who are lip syncing.
You guys
come go with me.
Sing?
Yeah.
You need more modern material.
I was going to say, the other movie I distinctly remember seeing in the theater was Roger Rabbit. We went on July 4th, whatever year it came out, 1988 or whatever it was. We used to go to the movies. That was like a movie day for us, July 4th. We'd go during the day.
Yeah.
But I remember like Roger Rabbit blew my mind.
We were always trying to share like something new, and this is modern. Like we took him to Toy Story, and my dad was a notorious grump. But we were walking out in Toy Story, and we were both like, "What'd you think? What'd you think?" He's like, "I didn't get it. I don't get it.
Why were they talking?
Toys can't move."
Ernest Borgnine wasn't at all in this movie. You lied to me.
I like that Don Rickles was in it.
Well, that's good taste.
But yeah, no, he was really hard. But I have one movie poster up in my apartment, and it's for Romancing the Stone. And it's because my whole family saw it together. We all had a great time. My dad was laughing. Everybody was laughing. You know, he just loved it.
I feel like I watched some of that not that long ago.
Danny DeVito really is funny in that movie.
He's great in it.
I remember him getting laughs, like when he's trying to pull a Warner poster off the wall and he falls over
and
a counter.
He's like shooting his gun over his back shoulder as he's running away from whatever he's trying to shoot. He just knows like it's gotta hit.
And
something.
he was like producer on that movie.
Yeah, what an amazing.
He's a nuke.
They always talk about how like everybody loves Bill Murray and everything, but Danny DeVito even more. Like he does no wrong.
And the thing about him is that because of his new show, which has now been on for 20 years or whatever it is, it's funny how he means so much to so many different generations.
Yeah.
Which I don't think Bill Murray has. Bill Murray walks into a bar, he starts serving drinks. The kids must be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Who's this weird dude?
Why is this guy in?
And why does the bartender like him so much?
Where's Johnny?
Right. Yeah, like
he's taking a long time.
And I love that like he just watched their show, the Always Sunny guys, and was like, I love this show. Can I be on it? They're like, well, sure, Danny DeVito, just come on down.
Yeah.
Like he's just great.
We saw everything that he did. I remember seeing Ruthless People.
Oh, sure.
And it had like
the high point of the Touchstone Pictures days.
And it had like this part where this woman's breasts are out and she's screaming outside this car. And I saw it with like my mom, and there's always those movies in the 80s are just so fucking scandalous. these cringy movies that you'd have to watch with your parents, and you're constantly like, oh God. Yeah, I mean, it was just like a really filthy decade.
Do you think that's because that's the first time where they could like really just like it was more lax, like you couldn't swear as much in older days? So because the
70s became this when they started to have nudity, and they're like, hey, look, boobs. Yeah. And like they're really into
like more realistic graphic violence.
Although that 70s blood looks like pink paint.
Well, that I feel like yes. But like at least you would see it as opposed like earlier than that, the guy would just kind of like grab his chest and fall over after you heard the gunshot.
I think there was something like
the use of squibs.
The special effect was like violence and sex, and I think the 80s the emphasis was on sex, but also like profanity and dirty comedy, and like that's what was really du jour or what was really in style.
The Porky's movies. I feel like eventually then they realized, hey, we could make as much money, if not more, and we don't have to have gratuitous nudity and all this over swearing.
I mean, we love
just as many tickets.
We worshipped SNL, so we're watching Stripes and Caddyshack, and we love these movies, memorize these movies, could just perform them sitting at the dinner table, and oftentimes we did. But there was always that moment where we're like, there's somebody's boobs are out.
And they don't, and it truly is gratuitous. It doesn't have to be in there
And for some reason, my mom and my dad let it go. And these were strict Catholics. And I think that's what's so funny about Catholics, or maybe, I don't know about other religions. But they're so like, oh, we got to go to church. If you don't go to church, you can't leave the house. And oh, you got to believe in God. And oh, you got to believe in this. And, but they were really actually dirty people who loved a body joke, and like
funny's funny.
My mom was out probably at a bridge club or something. She was not there for some reason, and Dad was in charge, and we watched 48 Hours, and it was like Eddie Murphy's first movie. It was just all swears, like they just spoke in swear language. No other words were used.
Oh.
And my dad's in the corner of the couch just getting soused. laughing his ass off. And then at the end, he's like, don't tell your mother.
Please don't tell your mother we just watched that.
We just watched the brilliant Nicholas Nolte.
Nicholas Nolte. And welcome up to stage, little 4-year-old Nicholas Nolte.
And I don't know who that young black man was, but goddamn, he's got a future.
Quite a future. Quite a future ahead of that fellow.
Skinny little guy.
Does Romancing the Stone hold up?
Yeah, it does. But you know what I love about that movie is I love this opening scene where you see her book. It's like it starts out as this amazing Western with a female protagonist.
Oh, right.
And then it cuts to her drunk and crying and living with a cat. And she's writing and she just finished a book and she's opening up an airplane-sized bottle of liquor. And I loved how it was written. It was such
like a fake out.
A depiction of a writer. It was a fake out beginning, but it was like this depiction of a writer that was so like sad, but she's happy. So it's like not that sad of a thing. And she's giving her kid or her cat some tuna fish and she's really happy in her life. Yeah. She just finished a book. It's just, I love this moment of like creative success. Mm-hmm. But, it's, I feel like we loved Indiana Jones. We loved anything like that.
I feel like the way it doesn't hold up is in the way Michael Douglas is very sexist.
Well, also he's also like this Han Solo nefarious
certainly his character, but like also she's acting like extra girly in it, and it's like what's her nuts in what's the middle one? Temple.
What's her nuts?
What's her nuts in
Kate Capshaw?
Yeah. Like she's not just
she was girly, obviously the director's girlfriend.
Yeah. She's like super over girly. Like everything
Steven
is
Spielberg
gross.
Must have been looking through his camera being like, oh fuck.
Oh yeah, maybe. Let's do that
again. Let's do another take.
Will you grab that thing with the bugs crawling all over you? You grab that big rock and pull it towards you, that big shaft. Yeah, let's take another take of that.
Grab tighter on the shaft.
Yeah, grab tighter on the shaft. Was that take good? No, I think we got to do, let's do one more shaft take. Another shaft take. Reset, everybody. Okay, put them big bugs back on her wrist.
We got to send a short round home.
I'm going to need all those printed and sent to my trailer tonight.
Oh, and he's always like ashamed of Temple of Doom, and he's like, "Well, I was getting divorced from Amy Irving. Mm-hmm. I was in a bad mood," and I was like, "That movie's fucking awesome."
Yeah. Had he known what that Crystal Skull one was going to be like,
we saw that Temple of Doom with my grandmother, and we thought we were actually murdering her by making her watch this movie.
I think we're killing her.
I think she's dying. The heart came right out of him.
Just like yours would, Grandma. If we did that, I could do that to you if I wanted, but we don't because we love you.
You're practically dust. I can reach into you and do the same thing, Grandma.
Skin is.
Grandma would live with us for a little while, and she'd be sitting on one of the dining room chairs, which was brought into the family room to watch TV.
Wow.
I'm watching MTV.
She wasn't sitting on a dining room chair.
She was sitting on a dining room chair, and the dining room chairs were more like thrones. We had like these big, giant.
They were more comfortable than what was in the living room.
Something better for her posture.
Okay.
But it was funny.
Give her the shitty...
She would sit in this chair, and then you'd start watching TV, and then you look back at her, and she just like kind of slinkied out of the chair. She just kind of melted.
Don Martin's shoes on every cartoon.
She became like a Dali painting. She just kind of melted out of the chair and would be on the ground. You'd be like, oh,
just like a face in a puddle of skin, like, hit me up.
But I was watching MTV one time, and MTV was basically porn. And I looked back at her, and she's like, and I was like, oh, yeah. This shit's filthy as fuck.
Mind your own business, Grandma. Just slither out of that chair, and I'll pick you up.
Wait till I figure out what masturbation is, Grandma.
That wasn't her going. That was your time. That was ticking away for you to discover your. Yeah.
Before I realized I have an amusement park in my pants. Right. But yeah, she lived with us, and then she had a stroke. And I remember the day she had a stroke, and I remember my brother bringing her tea. It's like she can't hold anything. She just had a stroke.
Did you witness to it?
Well, I just noticed like she was just
Suddenly
she was kind of slumped over in the chair, but it was like the only time I'd ever seen like
That's when it happened.
something happened that was big.
Ugh.
And an ambulance had to come and take her away, and then she lived in a home, and then she died.
I'll never forget, I was in Rome, Italy, and we saw this, I don't know how old he was, probably mid-60s, early 70s. He was walking across the street, like almost every major road in Rome. It's apeshit crazy. No one follows the lines or the stoplights or anything. And he like got to the middle, and he kind of like shook his head like, whoa! Like when you're snap out of it kind of, movement. And then like he's trying to get over to the sidewalk as like I was visually watching him have a stroke. Like he started like side of him started, and he kept kind of like stealing his, like, I got to get out of the street or I'm going to be run over by some Roman garbage.
I don't like this idea that one day our body will just be like, I'm done.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's it. It's so random.
Uh-huh.
And you don't know if man, what a way to go if you die in your sleep. To me, that sounds like
gift.
Ideal.
The ultimate gift.
You go down, you're like,
right. Not like
I'm comfy, yeah. I'm cozy. You're not like in a beeping, sterilized room that smells like ass.
Quietly go to your sleep, not like the 4 other people in your car on the highway that you were driving. They're going out in sheer terror.
Yeah. But man, I hate the idea that the body is like a finite thing.
Yeah.
And it can only do so much. And that, sorry to bring it up, but that's another thing that has to do with the title of this podcast. And I said this to my friend in a text. I'm like, this is why I named the podcast this, is because you reach middle age and you feel like you're just marching towards death. And I feel like, why not just be like, happier about it, or just like, well, wasn't that fun? It's just like it's like at dusk at Disney World when you're like, man, we had a great day.
Although we're
sad that the day is ending,
yes.
But we had a great day, and let's not be so bummed out about the fact that like we're on this other half of the hill.
I would agree with that, but I will say the title does not sound inspiring. It's depressing.
a lot of comments that I see from fans are like, this podcast definitely does matter. And I'm not saying that Dana doesn't matter or I don't matter or the things we say don't matter. That's not what I'm saying at all. If anything, it's just a quote from Aqua Teen, and I see people who have biographies like Billy D. Williams, and his biography is called, well, hello there. Because that's his most famous fucking line.
Love titles of biographies. Is that his most famous line?
From Empire Strikes Back, yeah.
Oh, shit.
He says that to Princess Leia when he meets her.
Oh, interesting.
But it's something that works on both levels.
Yeah.
Or on 2 levels. And, but, it's just, I'm just following this trend of do the most obvious thing. But it's just like, our existence on the planet, like, I don't know how you feel about your legacy. Do you ever think about your legacy?
I thought about it. This is the only thing I think about my legacy. I think, like, I'm glad there are things that I worked on that will exist in some form or fashion for beyond.
I don't really care about that. I don't care that like my music is going to last forever.
No, but it's interesting to know. I mean, some people do things their whole life, work very hard, and then when they're gone, there's no, like, it's nice to know that you're part of shows and things that people can watch and enjoy far after.
I don't need to entertain people after I'm dead, because I'm dead. And I don't need it. I don't need to. No. I don't need to know that, like, oh, the joy, the mirth will continue.
Well, I don't think I'm that deep about it. It just it's like, if you're talking about what your legacy.
It's because it's like these obituaries or just like people die. Somebody amazing dies, like Gene Hackman. Like I was watching Gene Hackman's movies last weekend. I'm like, this guy is incredible, but you see how it happens, and it happened with George just recently, where it's just like this amazing rush, tsunami of love comes out, and then immediately it's replaced by something, and everyone kind of like moves on to the next death.
But see, I think it's not about replacement. I think it's an upswelling in the focus is here right now. They've always loved Gene Hackman, and then it's an outpouring of how much they mean to you, and then okay. And then it goes to the next guy.
Mhm.
But, you'll always still have that appreciation for Gene Hackman.
Yeah,
It's not like,
but you don't.
now I hate Gene
you're
Hackman.
not that you hate Gene Hackman, but you're maybe not thinking about him, and you weren't thinking about him before. And
no,
it's
but
kind of
he's-
like people who do like amazing things, better than I will ever accomplish in my lifetime. People who are truly amazing people. They get a day
yeah.
when they die, and then everyone kind of goes back to business as
I'm
usual.
confused what you're talking about. What
It's
do you
just
mean by
meaning
what's their legacy?
I mean, like, none of this matters, meaning, like, I don't have to get so wrapped up in, like, oh, did I make a movie? Did I play the best part? Did I give the best performance?
Oh.
Did I make the best album? Did I make the best song?
No.
Did I get the work done that I wanted to get done before I died? None of this matters.
No.
It's the journey. It's are you enjoying your life?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Did you have a good time? Did something cool happen? Yes. Very
Yeah.
much so it did. Because, I mean, with fame, there's always like a uptick in fame, and then fame subsides, and you watch your fame subside. And I'm literally on IMDb Pro looking at a graph of my,
Right.
of my
yeah.
popularity.
What's it called? Star meter.
Star meter.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a graph of my popularity, and it really, there's been times where I've been obsessed with it and checking it daily, being like, oh, fuck.
See, I don't think
Everything's over.
Most people think like that.
I'm trying to deprogram myself from that mode of thinking where it's just like,
Yeah.
I get to tour the country. I get to do all this cool shit. I get to have great friends like you. I get to experience like a lot of cool shit. A lot of cool shit has happened. And I'm pretty happy reading a book, and I'm pretty happy doing this, that. I have lots of little tiny joys in my life.
Yeah.
Happy about little things that happen.
That's the name of my autobiography, Tiny Joys.
Tiny joys.
And it's me with a whole bunch of little sculptures of my mom, because my mom's name is Joy.
Okay.
it's a
Thanks for
play on-
explaining it.
It's well, I didn't think you knew my mom's name was Joy.
What's the real name of your autobiography?
Tiny Joyce, Volume 1.
I'm 30 or 40 years old, and I do not need this.
Right. I'm just taking
Dana
from
Snyder.
Etsy T-shirts.
That guy on Redbubble is making a fortune.
Master Shtick.
Master Stick. But yeah, no, I'm just trying to steer myself away from feeling like depressed about things not being what they were. Because while it was happening, it was like an amazing thing. It was a whirlwind. But I remember also being really annoyed. I'd be like in my van, and people would be like looking in the van and knocking on the window, and I was really claustrophobic when my fame was at its peak. I wasn't very comfortable.
After you do the show, you need to move the van.
Well, no,
Don't stay outside the entrance.
I'd be stuck. I'd be stuck in the parking lot because I couldn't. There was a time where I couldn't go anywhere, and I would be stuck in my van. I mean, I was really just getting high in my van, but also I wouldn't be left alone in the van. And it was a nondescript van. There was nothing about it that said the star of the show
Except
is
for
in here
your
getting
face
high.
wrapped on the side.
No, there was no wrap. There was like a car rented from Enterprise, but some kids would like start smoking like right in front of my car, and then they'd be like, "Hey, wait a minute,
That guy's smoking in there.
that guy's in there. Oh, it's MC Chris. Knock, knock, knock. MC Chris, we want some show now. We want the show to happen now. Come out here."
Oh, it'd be before the show.
After the show, there was a while where I would smoke with fans, guaranteed. Have a weed circle outside the show afterwards, and then I remember one time a cop car came up, and I said, "Everyone start shaking my hand."
Oh.
We were passing around like 5 joints in a circle, and I was like, "Everyone start shaking my hand. Let's pretend we're a fan and rapper. We're now fans and surrounding a rapper. We are not gonna," because it was back when weed was illegal.
Oh, sure.
But anyway, so that's a long diatribe about why I named the podcast this. But I really am trying to like not sweat the small stuff, and a lot of the small stuff is like envy based, and this person's doing so well, and this person got that, and I mean Instagram really feeds into that, or a lot of the internet where you're just like, oh fuck, look at that house.
Yeah, that's why I don't.
You're not on it.
Yeah, I mean, I have an Instagram. I don't have a Facebook. I think it exists somehow, but I tried to delete
You're one
it.
of the, and I think it's because you're Gen X, but you're one of these brilliant people who have avoided the pitfalls of modern existence.
Well, it's like, I mean, Tom Kenny, who's SpongeBob, he doesn't have anything, nothing. I think everything I have is vestigial. Like, I got Facebook when it first came out.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of lived there. And I probably do X more than anything, but still, it's once every 6 months
Ecstasy?
or something. Yeah, it's great. Did it right before. I do it before every show here. By the way, speaking of shows, real quick, side note, I know you're talking about you're depressed and envious about stuff, and then it doesn't matter.
I'm not.
Here's what I'm so mad about. I'm doing a live show. I'm emceeing a show. Call time. Okay? I'm at the theater. I'm professional. The call time, 9 o'clock. Wait for it for a 10:30 show. You got to be out of your mind. 90 minutes before a show?
You have no idea what I go through.
Are we writing the show?
You know, musicians are supposed to be at the venue
That's
at like
different.
3 o'clock in the
No,
afternoon.
that's different. I get it. Sound check. I know that too. Sound check. Then you come back. This is not that. There's no sound check. The sound check is
Again, you like being Bob Hope coming in with your golf clothes.
30 minutes.
10 minutes.
30-minute call time.
10 minutes before the show.
10 o'clock for a 10:30 show. Not 90 minutes before.
Yeah.
Because then guess what happens?
What?
I'm going to tell you what happens with me. I get there at 9 o'clock like I'm supposed to. I sit around while 5 guys figure out how to pull their thumbs out of their asses and what they're doing because they're not organized. So that's why I got to show up because they're not organized yet. And then we walk to the back. I have 17 beers before the show even starts.
And then it's ruined.
Yeah. Well, that's improved.
Well, although you have the tolerance of...
But like, I want to get there and do the show. I want to be able to like chill out in my room and not be in that environment and just like, I want quiet. I want to just like focus.
I work my merch table from doors till an hour after the show.
No, I get that too, but you're making money from doing that.
Yeah, true.
That's the difference.
I love showing up on time at the venue, and there's like some guy who's like, again, putting his hands to the glass and being like, "Who are you?
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? This door doesn't
Right.
open.
I'm the show tonight.
The door doesn't work. You have to go around the back. Then you go around the back. You're like, not this door, the side." And you're like, "This is what I showed up for?
Uh-huh.
Is me and the janitor?"
Yeah. It's too long. It's like when someone's picking you up at the airport, like for an event or something, there's always like a ride organized.
Oh, that drive.
I don't mind the drive. Once my bag, Ivan, when my bag is in my hand, I want to get the fuck out of the airport. I don't want to spend 2 extra minutes there. Well, then they'll do and the other 2 people you're riding with, their plane should be landing right now. Before they're done with that sentence, I've already called an Uber. Because I do not, it's like that piddling. It's like at the end when you're like, a party's over and like everybody just get the fuck out. Don't, this muddling around like, no.
You like efficiency.
I want it out. I want it done.
You're German.
And I feel the same way before a show. That's why I like to get there 30 minutes. If I have shit to do, I'll get there earlier than that. But don't make me get there 90 minutes because I guarantee I
hate the green room.
The last time they did one of those, I showed up exactly the same way, 90 minutes before. And you know what I did? I sat in a chair looking at the stage for 87 minutes. And then they said, okay, the show's going to start. We're opening the house. I got up and walked behind and sat in another chair. And then we did the show.
I annoy every venue because my mic check is 5 minutes long. And I do it 5 minutes before doors.
Yeah.
And they're there for 2 hours. The sound guy's always in the sound booth for 2 hours being like, what the fuck am I doing here? I'm like, you're getting paid.
Yeah, that's it.
You're getting paid to look at your phone.
Yeah. The thing is also...
I don't have a drum kit.
Yeah.
We don't have to go through every drum.
Mm-hmm. And I want to point out also this 90 minutes before. I'm not getting paid to be there for 90 minutes before. It's like an add-on live show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, well, they're paying you what we just talked about. I'm not getting paid to be there. I'm doing it as an extra. So it's like, now you're gonna take.
If I've met anyone in my life who's just like always looking at their watch, being like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. I gotta move. I only have so much time.
30 minutes. Because it's going to be a 3-hour thing for me because they want me 90 minutes before the thing. And you know the show's going to run late.
What is this show?
It's Burlesque. Of course it's going to run late.
What's with you in Burlesque?
I don't know. I just did a lot of Burlesque.
You love the vibe of being. Are you like an MC who comes on and be like, "Let's give it up for Cherry
that's what
Wiggles."
I'm doing for this one. Cherry Wiggle. Welcome to the stage, is Cherry Wiggles. Hey, now that's some stems. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing that in Richmond.
It's very old world.
Yeah, there's a show Friday night at the Richmond GalaxyCon that I will be emceeing. The GalaxyCon After Dark. I think they even call it Nerdlesque. Because it's like cosplay. You know, they're all professionals, but it'll be like Mario stripping down to Wario. I think
nerd conventions are becoming more honest.
Yeah. Just get it. We all know what we're doing here. Just get it out of the way. Come on.
We know what you guys are doing tonight.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
It's not with anybody else.
No.
Hey, so this is MC. If you'd like to advertise on our podcast, please write us at mattersnotpod@gmail.com. We also have a GoFundMe. All of that can be found on our Linktree, linktr.ee/mattersnotpod. Please make a donation. Help me pay for Dana's beverages. Help us pay for studio time and the art. And if we make enough money, we can hopefully start doing video and do all kinds of cool things. Please support us if you can, or advertise on our podcast by writing us at mattersnotpod, mattersnotpod @gmail.com.
I remember Adam Reed told me about, he's like, we're going to go Dragon Con and look at the Stormtroopers. I was like, what's that? And and he explained to me what a convention was.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, they all get dressed up, and then you know what? And I was like, what? He's like, then they go fuck. And I was like,
especially at Dragon Con.
And I was like, really? I don't know if that's true though.
I think Dragon Con.
Maybe Dragon Con
because
is hedonistic.
Yeah, I mean, I remember a couple times things getting real strange where I was invited to some furry piles, and I'm not a furry.
You just look like one with no costume.
I look like a shaved furry. Someone who normally would cover their face at an event.
One of those furless cats.
Yes. Weird, like fox, sexy space fox.
My suspicion about cons is people are in their rooms, their hotel rooms, and they're bonding, and they're up, and they're drinking, because I've tried to sleep in the room next to them.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing fuck sounds. I'm hearing, I never get to socialize. I have discovered my tribe.
It's like an adult sleepover.
Yes, exactly.
I think a lot of that's true.
But I'm sure some people are.
But I think Dragon Con, honestly, was always sort of known for being a little bit of a fuck show.
Yeah.
Meaning like lots of hookups there.
Yeah.
Because that was so humongous.
We're about done, but before we go, let me just trash Dragon Con a little bit. I mean, no offense to the Dragon Con people who are so lovely, and I think I have an open invitation to come back whenever I want.
Well.
But when I'm there, I feel trapped.
Oh, it's very claustrophobic.
And you can't move. You can't get to your room.
No.
The elevators are always like just monopolized by something.
It's too big for where it is.
Yeah.
There's too many people. That's all it is.
And it's they put me with the other musicians on the bottom floor. I'm not in the celebrity gallery.
What do you mean by the bottom floor?
Literally the bottom floor. Where where there's fountains around the elevator.
I thought you were talking like where you're sleeping.
No, I have a room.
Right.
If I could ever get to it.
Yeah. Right. No, it's always a problem.
And then you work your ass. You bust your ass trying to get to your room. Then you get up there and you're like, I don't want to be here.
I forgot to buy a soda before I got up here.
I forgot how uncomfortable all this furniture is.
Yeah. They take like, now I think it's probably 5 hotels all connected, but it's completely overtaxed. There's just, and I don't know if there's a solution, and I don't blame them for the way it is because I don't know what else you could do.
I mean, it's a great concert. It's like my biggest audience.
Like the show is great, but I mean, I remember like you go do a panel, it takes an hour to get there.
Yeah.
because you gotta
finding out where you're supposed to be.
And
at
you're
cons
just in this
is maybe the
sea
bane
of
my
humanity.
existence.
You can only move as fast as everybody else is.
And I'm right next to fucking Crux Shadows, which is this band that plays their music on a loop. And it's one of these merch tables that like is huge, like and has like a facade of a building.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know,
and showy.
Yeah. It's run by other people that are not the artist. They've got 30 shirts. They have like this huge thing and they're playing their music nonstop. And I'm like, if I ever come back here, I'm gonna make Crux Shadow parody shirts.
Oh, that's good.
And I'll do Crux Shadows.
Oh.
But I was just listening to this music on a loop for 36 hours.
Some people at conventions I go to, they will play music at their table loudly, and it bothers me.
And I imagine like playing MCP
I don't want to
pants.
listen to their shit. I wouldn't play my shit for other people because I know the music I like is very acquired, and most people don't want to listen to it.
I could easily be blasting MCP pants.
Yes.
Or
but
MC Chris.
Because you're a human being and you realize you're not the only person in the fucking room.
It would be annoying to me, but see, this is where I always I'm not Gary Anthony Williams. I am not interested in drawing attention to myself. I every time I'm done with a con, I'm like, I gotta buy a bullhorn. I gotta buy.
You're a walking bullhorn. You don't need to buy one.
Yeah, but it's just like draws attention. If I could stand on my table with a bullhorn, I would make twice what I make.
But you could stand on your table and just scream.
I know, but the bullhorn is a gimmick. Let me teach you showmanship.
Oh, listen, I invented showmanship. I was showmanshipping when you were still watching Fox and the Hound at the movie theaters.
Dude, I actually did do that.
Well, I know you did.
Saw it alone.
Alone?
I love Fox and the Hound. I can't remember any of it.
How'd you go? You're like 10 years old.
I told you once I saw Snow White, I started to go see like Fox and the Hound, and
I'm
a hound dog.
Somehow I saw something on Reddit yesterday about people talking the saddest movies they saw, and somebody had Hot Fox and the Hound on there, and I was like, I don't remember any
Hot
of that.
Fox and the Hound. That's a different movie.
The porno version.
Okay, I'm gonna read some Spotify reviews, and then we're gonna go.
That's right.
So let's see here.
Feel free to leave a review for us. It helps us out a lot.
Please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify.
No, that's why I was doing it.
Leave a comment in the YouTube comments.
Like this. Listen to these dopey comments. I bet you can leave one that's twice as good. Such as, oh boy, he's grabbing the reading glasses. Age, the cruel mistress of us all.
I wish I had a cruel mistress.
You do. It's age.
No muffins for you.
Old man time.
All right. Batterman says, it should not walk so that a child may live. That's what it does.
I know that's an Aqua Teen quote.
That's like the first episode. Oh, no, that's from the MCP Pants episode, I think.
It should not, I don't know.
Doc Bad Wrench said, this is absolutely delightful.
Okay. Doc Bad Ranch?
Wrench.
Oh.
Get it right. MC Chris is awesome.
Signed MC Chris's mom.
Signed MC Chris.
Yeah. MC Chris
Panic Button.
1.
I follow MC Chris on FB and saw this was happening. Instantly liked it. Linked it to my partner. We're big fans of MC and Aqua Teen. Shake is his favorite. So good to hear the two of the best people in entertainment.
Notice I didn't.
With a podcast.
She didn't say it was her favorite. Just Shake is his favorite.
Yeah, but you hear the last line. So good to hear two of the best people in entertainment. We're the two of the best.
In your face, Gene Hackman.
Take that, George Clooney.
Emphasis on the hack. Not like us professionals.
Ivan,
it must be exciting for you to be in a room with such powerhouses.
We're the best in entertainment. Yeah. Super awesome show. Love you guys. I watched all the Aqua Teens and keep rocking MC Chris for life. Keep up with the greatness, dudes. And then several emojis. And that's from Ronan Dude. He's a big fan of the word dude.
Hey.
Who is it?
If you got to do it, go all the way.
Aaron Blumenthal. No time for jokes in the name.
I like that sometimes.
You
just
that?
Straightforward. Or you know what it is? I feel like they signed up. They're like, username, and then he gets into whatever the platform is. Like, wait a minute, I'm sitting here with like Ball Raider and Waffles Forever, and I put fucking Aaron Blumenthal. I put my real name on this shit, and everybody else has got these. You feel like you got cheated a little bit. You got bamboozled. I've done that before. I put Dana Snyder, and then like everyone else is on the thing is like, Grizzly Walker and
You got Blumenthal.
Van Life Forever, and yeah.
Y'all made me laugh out loud several times. This must be someone from the South.
Okay. It's an hour long show, only 2 times.
Y'all made me spill my sweet tea.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. This guy's, he's getting
It's a girl. It's a girl.
Getting,
E-R-I.
E-R-I. Okay. Okay. Well, that's great.
Y'all made me laugh out loud several times, like more than I even expected even.
Ooh.
Plus some hard relates.
Oh.
11 out of 10. I'm for real so happy to hear from others who are actually as heavy into adult cartoons as I've been since I was a teenager! !
Wow. That's the best one we've gotten yet. Honest. No problem letting people know her names.
Dana, sell me some merch. From
said
Dr.
that?
Holly.
Well, Holly, show up. I'll be in Richmond, GalaxyCon.
When is Richmond GalaxyCon?
I don't remember. I think the end of March.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Let's see here.
You can go to GalaxyCon.com. They'll tell you where. I go to every show on GalaxyCon.com. I'll be at all those.
Panic button. This has become a new weekend tradition in our household.
Oh.
Kids, quiet down. Gather around the radio.
Father and mother are trying to listen to disgruntled voiceover
Let us all gather around the phone.
Bring the dining room chair out for
Grandma to melt out of.
Yes, so she can drizzle down to the floor.
Can't wait to continue the trend. Thanks, guys. Darren Danger, y'all make me smile. Genuinely. That's just what I needed.
That's nice.
Thanks. Everyone's just saying this is just what I needed.
Yeah. Well, you gotta imagine.
They call it a palate cleanser.
The people who put up the review all think positively about it. You got to go to you can scroll the negative reviews.
Last one. Vomit Pinata.
Oh, great name.
These are very enjoyable so far. Very in caps. Even better than expected. Motherfucker.
Hey, Vomit Pinata. Clearly this guy is scarred at some birthday party when he was 7. He knocked the head off the donkey and then just puke poured out.
He just thinks everything's going to be a
it's
horrible
no matter
experience.
how good it looks on the outside, there could be some
Dana Snyder and
real
MC
vomit
Chris
on there.
Sounds like a real shit show.
Sounds like a real Vomit Pinata to me.
Let's try. Let's give it a go. Is anybody else listening to these while staring at the cartoon thumbnail of the boys, eyes darting back and forth between the two as they talk and imagining it as a cartoon? No? Me neither.
You know what I'm going to make? I'm going to make some big, like them garden gnomes? I'm going to make those based on our caricatures from the thing.
They really are cute. That's from a Japanese artist named TM Paint.
Yeah. I love Japan.
And he does some cool shit.
You know me, I'm a Japanophile.
Joe Aconite. I like to talk about life in the business, from the jobs and the people to the cons. You both have different perspectives that work well on these things, but also have similar interests that help make you good pals. I think this guy's defining why we click. This is the strength of this show.
Oh, now he's telling us. He's gone from a suggestion to just straight out. I'm telling you.
Let me explain to you why this works.
Here's what you guys are doing. Well, that was all nice. Thank everyone.
Thank you, everybody, for all these reviews. Please, if you think you can do a better job than that,
which you know you can,
or you have a better
finally
name,
time. Get off your duff. Walk across and go to that computer. Dust off that computer that you haven't been using.
Follow us and subscribe wherever you can. Please,
everywhere.
Click the bell at YouTube so you get notified when the new podcast shows up. It always shows up at YouTube first. And YouTube is kind of what I check the most. But if you listen to it 3 times like me, switch it around. Do YouTube, Spotify, and then do Apple.
In case you haven't noticed, we really need this. This is really...
Well, we're just getting things started, and we just want to
That's right.
It takes a second.
That's right. We got to be Seabiscuit out of the gate. But you don't go to Kentucky Derby the first day you're a racehorse.
You always
start in the
sticks.
It's
always gates and horses with you.
That's right.
You
I don't match my patch.
You don't match him. Is that a horse thing?
Don't swizzle. What is it? The cat's pissing.
Listen, the cat's a pissing.
You still never gave me another one of those.
Cat's a pissing in second. Cat's a pissing coming around the bend.
Around a far turn, 3 lengths up, 3 thing, cat's a pissing.
We're gonna have to make cats of pissin' t-shirts.
That's our after Patreon after show called Cats of Pissin'.
Everyone will know what we mean. Okay, thank you, Dina. See you next week.
Or listen, comma, the C blank apostrophe S is a P blank apostrophe S. I don't think it's all dirty words.
The cunts are pooping?
Yeah. Ooh, I wasn't going to say pooping, but okay.
Get that checked.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Toodles. Oh, toodles.
Hey, this is MC Chris here again to tell you to go to mcchris.com to check out my tour dates for this summer. Tickets and info, everything you're going to need is right there at mcchris.com. 45 shows going everywhere. If we're not coming to your town, let me know. Or if you're a venue who wants to have a show on a day I have a day off, write me at mcchrisbooking@gmail.com. Go to mcchris.com and go check out my tour dates for my big celebrating 20 years of touring tour this summer. I hope I see you out there. Thank you so much for letting me do this for 20 years. That's crazy. I never thought I would hold a job for that long, but you've let me do just that. So I hope I see you out there. Go to mcchris.com and check it out. Thanks. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. Bye.